The story begins with Ryan Carter, a brilliant but misunderstood man in his early 30s. Once a skilled engineer, he finds himself locked inside Ironwood Maximum Security Prison, a place designed to break even the toughest souls. Ryan isn't a hardened criminal. He was framed for a crime he didn't commit, a high-profile bank robbery that left no witnesses but plenty of evidence pointing at him. His fingerprints were found at the crime scene, his bank account suddenly showed a large deposit, and his alibi mysteriously fell apart. Someone had set him up, and now he's paying the price. As Ryan steps into prison, the cold steel doors slam shut behind him. He quickly realizes that surviving here won't be easy. The guards are brutal, the inmates are ruthless, and trust is a rare commodity. He meets Marcus, a seasoned prisoner who warns him that the real power in Ironwood isn't the warden, it's the gang leaders who control everything from the shadows. Ryan keeps his head down, trying to avoid trouble, but trouble finds him fast. A notorious inmate, Diego, picks a fight, testing Ryan's strength. When Ryan holds his ground, he gains some respect, but also paints a target on his back. One night, as he lies in his cell, staring at the cracks in the ceiling, Ryan makes a decision. He won't rot in this place for a crime he didn't commit. He will escape, and to do that, he needs a plan. Life behind bars, locked up, but not for long. Ryan quickly learns that Ironwood Maximum Security Prison is a world of its own, one where survival depends on strength, wit, and alliances. Every day is a test, every decision a risk. The prison hierarchy is brutal. The guards turn a blind eye to violence, and the inmates divide into groups for power and protection. There are the gang leaders who control contraband, the enforcers who keep others in check, and the loners, like Ryan, who struggle to stay out of trouble. Ryan keeps his distance, but soon realizes that isolation is dangerous. He earns the attention of Diego, the most feared gang leader, who suspects Ryan isn't just an ordinary inmate. Diego's right. Ryan's sharp mind and engineering background make him different. One day, Ryan is assigned to the prison workshop, where he repairs broken locks and electrical circuits. That's when he notices something strange about the security systems, a flaw, a weakness. He could use this to his advantage. But before he can think further, he's pulled into a fight. A corrupt guard, Officer Briggs, sets Ryan up by planting contraband in his cell. As punishment, Ryan is thrown into solitary confinement, a dark, windowless room where time feels endless. In that silence, Ryan's determination hardens. If the system is against him, he has only one choice: break out before it breaks him. But escape isn't a one-man job. He needs help, and for that, he must make an unlikely alliance, even if it means dealing with the very criminals he once feared. The escape plan begins, locked up but not for long. After days in solitary confinement, Ryan is released back into the prison yard. He's battered but more determined than ever. He now knows two things. Ironwood has a security flaw, and he can't escape alone. Ryan starts observing everything: the guards' routines, the blind spots in security cameras, and the maintenance schedules. He notes how food deliveries enter and how waste leaves the facility. Every detail is a potential key to freedom. Recruiting the team. To pull off an escape, Ryan needs a team with the right skills, but trust is dangerous in prison. After careful consideration, he approaches three inmates: Marcus, the strategist, a former military man who understands tactical planning. He knows prison security better than anyone. 2. Jace, the muscle, a street-smart fighter with gang connections. He can get supplies and handle threats. 3. Eddie, the hacker, a former cyber criminal with a talent for electronics. If anyone can override Ironwood's digital systems, it's him. Ryan convinces them with one simple truth: they all have a reason to escape. Marcus has unfinished business outside, Jace is on a rival gang's hit list, and Eddie's parole keeps getting denied. Discovering the weakness. Ryan reveals what he found in the prison workshop. The electronic locks on certain doors are connected to an old, glitchy power grid. A temporary power surge could disable the locks for exactly 90 seconds, just enough time to slip through key checkpoints. But there's a problem. The prison's emergency generator would restore power almost immediately. To make this work, they need a distraction, something big enough to force the entire prison into chaos. As they piece together the plan, the countdown begins. One mistake, and they'll spend the rest of their lives in a cell or worse. Obstacles and close calls. Locked up, but not for long. Ryan and his team have a plan, but Ironwood Prison isn't an easy place to outsmart. Every step toward escape is met with danger, forcing them to adapt or fail. Obstacle number 1, the suspicious guard officer. Briggs, the corrupt guard who framed Ryan earlier, starts noticing his movements. He catches Ryan whispering with Marcus in the yard and watches as Jace sneaks around the kitchen. Briggs suspects something is up. One night, Ryan returns to his cell to find it completely ransacked. A warning. If they aren't careful, their plan will be exposed before it even begins. Obstacle number 2, betrayal. Within Eddie, the hacker, has a secret. He's been in contact with Diego, the prison's most feared gang leader. Diego offers Eddie a deal, rat out Ryan's plan, and he'll get protection. Eddie struggles with the choice, but when Ryan catches him sneaking around Diego's cell, trust is broken. They confront Eddie, forcing him to choose, stay loyal or be left behind. Eddie ultimately sticks with the team, but the tension remains. Obstacle number 3, a sudden lockdown. Just as they finalize the escape plan, a violent riot erupts in the prison. The warden orders an immediate lockdown, shutting down movement inside Ironwood. Their plan depended on a routine night, but now everything is unpredictable. Guards are on high alert, searches are happening daily, and security has doubled. Ryan knows they have only one option: adapt. The escape must happen sooner than planned, or not at all. Executing the plan. Locked up, but not for long. The tension is palpable as Ryan and his team prepare for the escape. The prison lockdown has heightened security, and every move they make feels like it could be their last. But there's no turning back. It's now or never. Step 1. The distraction. To buy themselves time, Marcus and Jace initiate a large-scale fight in the yard. The violence quickly escalates, drawing guards away from key areas of the prison. Ryan, Eddie, and the others slip away from the chaos and head to their designated spots. The fight gives them precious minutes, but it also sets off alarms. The clock is ticking. Step 2. Overriding the security systems. Eddie is the linchpin. As the fight rages on, he rushes to the prison's control room and hacks into the security system. He quickly overrides the power grid, causing a brief blackout that disables the electronic locks for exactly 90 seconds. The team moves fast. Ryan and Marcus head to the main hallway, bypassing the locked doors. Jace and Eddie follow closely behind, carrying supplies that will help them survive outside the walls. But as they approach the final gate, something goes wrong. Step 3. The last-minute setback. Ryan reaches the last locked gate, the one that leads to freedom, but as he presses the button to unlock it, the system fails to respond. Eddie's hack worked, but there's a secondary backup they weren't prepared for, a hidden system that requires physical keys. The backup plan is flawed. Panic sets in for a brief moment. The guards could be on them in seconds, and they are out of time. But Marcus has one final trick up his sleeve. He was once trained in lockpicking, and with the small tools they managed to sneak past the guards, he works quickly. Just as the backup power kicks in, the lock clicks open. The final gate is breached. Step 4. The chase. The moment they pass through the gate, all hell breaks loose. The alarms blare and guards scramble to respond. Ryan and his team sprint across the prison yard, but they aren't free yet. The chase begins. They need to scale the perimeter wall, avoid watchtowers, and evade the heavily armed response teams. As they approach the wall, Jace is caught in a gunfire exchange with guards. He's wounded, but he drags himself to the wall, helping the team over the fence. They make it outside the prison, but not without leaving a trail of chaos behind them. The final hurdle, locked up, but not for long. The team has escaped Ironwood, but the real test begins now. They are out in the wild, but freedom is far from guaranteed. A close call with the authorities. As they race through the dense forest surrounding the prison, Sirens wail in the distance, and helicopters circle overhead. The authorities are on high alert, and a manhunt is underway. The team splits up to avoid detection, but their chances of escape grow slimmer with each passing hour. Ryan and Marcus head toward a safe house that Marcus knows about, an old contact who might help them get out of state. But the journey is treacherous, and patrols are closing in. They must stay low, avoiding roads and staying hidden in the shadows. The betrayal. Just when they think they're in the clear, Jace is caught. His injuries have slowed him down, and during their flight, he was separated from the group. As Ryan and Marcus race back to find him, they discover a shocking truth. Jace was never fully loyal. He made a deal with Diego. The gang leader promised Jace safety if he led the authorities to them. Just as they reach Jace, the police ambush them. A life or death decision. Ryan is faced with a gut wrench.